So good evening, and as you can see, I'm wearing my I'm wearing my Christmas lights because this is gonna be our Christmas. This is our Christmas. This is the Christmas show. So we just have one person on, and Susan, I've unmuted you. So you're now. If you have questions or anything you want to ask, but I'm just going to say a few things. First of all, welcome to this is the last webinar of 2016. Imagine an entire year has gone by. So our website is just over it's a year and a bit old. Michael, if you're still there, can you give me a clear? I've kind of forgotten how long we've had our website going. Do you remember?
I think it was August we started, so it's been since a year, August plus whatever we
September,
were.
October, November, December. So it's about a year and 4 months that we've had the website going. So the good news is that we are just sneaking up on our first 1,000 members. That's not people that have just visited, that's actual members. So that's pretty exciting. And I kind of watch the numbers now because I remember back when we were we got our first 100, how excited I was about 100 members, yay. So anyway, that's we're now coming up for our first 1,000, and we've been getting some really, it's about every day or two I get a letter from someone either asking a question or saying something about how their skin's doing better or how they're, mostly it's been all positive, and that's really good for me to hear because I want to know that this, this is happening all over we're getting from all over the world. I mean, I just talked to just wrote to a woman in Australia. So it's just nice to know that this is touching people all over the world. So anyway, excited about that. And I will be sending this. I have to go get this, but this is going to be the Christmas card that's going to go out to everybody on the next email, which will go out in the next few days. This is the Christmas card that I painted.
Very nice.
You're all going to get one in your email. With a Merry Christmas from me, and so that's that. So how are you doing, Susan?
Well, I actually was with all you guys way back when the pain first started.
Are we talking about on this site or even before?
Even before Inspire.
On Inspire.
Right. So my mother was living with me. I was taking care of her, and I would dabble in, and I came across his blog, and I was like, oh my God, I got to try this. But it worked, believe me, it worked. But then in April, I was scratching my elbow one night, and I was like, oh, I got an itch. And then I realized, oh my God, I don't want to scratch. So now it's kind of come back, and so I'm starting over again. But I'm wondering if anyone's ever had the problem with am I immune to everything now that I did it once?
Okay, now when you say I did it, did you do it and then stop?
Yes, I was doing magnesium. That's because I first saw the pain when he was on the blog about spraying with the mosquitoes, and so I was like, something really worked. So I'm like, I'm trying that. That's easy. I can do that. So I started doing it. Like I said, I was taking care of my mother. She was very sick, and I do what I could do. And then I got into the vitamin K2, MK7.
Yeah.
And D3,
doing
that. And I didn't do it as much because I'm so sensitive to whatever I do. Am I speaking too loud, or am I at a good...
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just amazed that for how many years since, I'm 63, I was like 18. Well, I think I had it all my life, but my mother used to always brush it off as, well, I don't know what that is when I was a little kid. She had no idea what the spots were all over me, and no doctors could tell her. We never really, cared about it.
Yeah.
I cared about it, but anyhow.
Yeah, of course.
For all those years, and to have the spray, that magnesium, I was just amazed, and I
Yeah.
was thrilled. I told every doctor I went to, about this protocol. But so now I'm starting over again. Well, I kind of in April when I got the itch, I thought, well, that's just dryness, and then it kind of crept up on me, and so
Okay, so
life gets in.
yeah, I'm kind of, I see, I've never stopped it. I
Right,
just
I would
consider
never
it to
stop
be
again. If I get this back under control, I'm hoping, and I will
I take
never.
one day, I just do one day a week. I take off. I take Sunday off. I don't do any supplements at all. And
Hmm.
then I do it. And I have a few other things that I take, like vitamin C and the omega-3, the fish oil, yeah, fish oil. I do a vitamin A, which is I think it's a halibut liver oil.
Uh-huh.
And what else do I? Those are my basics, you know. And I mean, I've got little spots, but it's so, it's so weird because I'm looking at it from a different angle now. Instead of looking at it from the angle of having it really bad, and if I was looking at it and comparing it to how it used to be all the time or
Mhm.
most of the time,
Right.
I would be delighted, which I am most of the time, really delighted. But I tend to look at it from the point of view of absolute clearness, and then I'm like, oh my God, I've got a couple of spots. It's like,
Hmm.
come on. I mean, anybody else looking at me would never even notice it.
Hmm.
It's just that, I mean, before I couldn't I couldn't walk around with bare legs. I mean, people
Right.
would be going, "What is that on your legs?"
Right.
My elbows were a little bit, a little bit, there was always psoriasis around. So, I get the odd little, a few little spots, but I notice that if I put on some tar or whatever, because I've got all these creams, I'm not throwing them away, it's like, so I
Right.
just kind of dip into my old stuff and play around with that and see if that works.
Hmm.
But anyway, it's really doing well compared to what it was for many, 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 well, decades actually.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So pretty
Well,
happy
I,
with
I think
that.
I'm going to a nutritionist on Friday. So
Okay.
I'm hoping that they'll do those. Is it the OutCat test or I want to see what food sensitivities that could be
Okay,
doing.
well, that's probably a really smart idea. I don't know if you looked on the Facebook at all, but I talked about that. There was a series it was on the internet. There was a series called Betrayal. It was a 7-part series, and each part was about an hour, and it was about autoimmune disease. And I thought that was really actually Michael, who does our website, his partner Daniela, my friend, told me about it, and so I watched it, diligently, because it was
Hmm.
about autoimmune disease, and so I was curious. I thought it really. I mean, they were very nice people. It was, and the information, there was information there. It just seemed that I could have taken all that information and put it into half an hour.
Yeah, I think I did read that. Yeah, I
And
read so much I forget because
yeah.
I yeah I do
So I
recall.
didn't think I learned anything, and maybe it's because I've been doing this for a few years, so I've already been digging around. So I didn't, other than they're really big on gluten, which I haven't been. And I thought, well, I'm not gonna cut it out 100%, but I'm gonna just kind of lower the amount of gluten that I eat
Right.
and see if that has any if it has any effect or whatever, I'll try it. I
Hmm.
just thought I would, I bought a loaf of gluten-free bread, and actually it's palatable.
Hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
I have found some too because we have some good stores around here.
yeah. Now
But
where
I
are
do
you?
want to thank you. I want to thank you before I forget for all your input on all of this.
Oh,
I want to say thank
thanks.
you even for, since I guess, what is this, 16, 2014 or,
Oh,
even
when we
when,
started, yeah, I think we started in 2014 when we were on the Inspire site.
yes, yes. And see, the problem is I have, well, I thought I kept a record on there, but there's nothing, like my diary thing. I could have, because they wiped that all out, didn't they? So I
Oh,
couldn't, because
yeah,
I used to keep
unfortunately.
track of by, getting on the blog and saying, well, I started this time and this is what I did. Well, I
I
don't even
know.
know that.
I know. I thought it was pretty, I really actually thought it was, I mean, low rent is the expression I would use. I thought it was kind of cheeky of them to do that. It's one thing to have gone after me for using the testimonials, even though they were sent to us, they were on their website, I'll grant them that. But, we were helping people.
You
And
were,
and to remove every word that I wrote, that kind of looks shitty for
yeah.
them. It doesn't make them look very good.
I
As
wrote a letter to them too when they threw the paint off. I can't remember every detail of everything, but I
oh
reached
yeah,
out.
I can't either. It was very complicated,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
well, they
couldn't
threw
believe
him
it. I was
off.
like, I
Yeah,
mean, they don't realize what they're doing.
yeah. Well,
I,
they threw him off, and then
right.
he came back in as another name, right? He came back
Yeah.
as what was it? I can't remember now. He was the
Well,
pain.
it's the
That was his
head.
original site. Headless, right?
Head.
He came back as headless. And he really took his time before he outed himself. Right? So because we were supposed to start that website, and it was so weird. We were secretly building a website. Well, Michael was building our website, but we were secretly building this website because we knew things were looking scary, right?
I
So we were
know.
building this and we didn't say. And I'm telling you, like, we both got thrown off within a day or two of starting the website. It was so bizarre.
It
It
was. I
was
told
just
my
the
husband, I said, this is
timing.
better than a nighttime show. I can't believe this.
I know it was really strange. But anyway, we got the website going, and they haven't been. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, out of that almost 1,000 members, there's a few trolls or spies or
Yeah.
whatever in there. What can I say? There's nothing we can do about that. They're going to do that's their job. So
Right.
that's what they're going to do. So I don't care, really.
Right. Big pharma. I got a letter from Psoriasis Foundation today, wanting a donation, and I thought, why donate? Because I don't think they even care. I don't think they're trying
Well,
to find.
I actually got that letter too, and I actually responded to it, and I said to them, I think it's pretty cheeky of you to ask me, who you banned permanently, for a donation.
I guess you're
So,
not blacklisted there yet.
well, no, I think I am. I think they just don't have all their ducks in
Well,
a
that's what I
row.
mean.
They've got me banned permanently from the site, but they didn't realize that I was still on the mailing list, right? So anyway, I'm probably now will never hear from them again, because I
Yeah.
did get a couple of they send out a magazine a magazine which
Right.
basically it's just an advertiser for pharmaceuticals. Has a
Hmm.
few little stories in it. Da, 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 da. I was telling
Right.
Michael, this is my Christmas thumb. Can you see
I can
this
see the green or blue
the
on it.
green? It's green. Yeah, I was trying to fill my pen for writing my Christmas cards, and I'm telling you, this ink is serious. I have really tried to get that color off. This is lighter than it was. I mean, anyway, so this is my Christmas thumb. And I was going to talk about a couple of things that I did find. Where do you live, by the way?
Maryland.
Where?
On the East Coast in Maryland.
Oh, in Maryland. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
40
Okay. Well,
minutes from DC. Yeah.
oh, okay. Because I happened to go into Finlandia, which is it's a really good natural health food store, and they have a homeopath there. They have a herbal. They have several herbalists, several homeopaths. I mean, it's probably the best store in town in terms of you need it, you can get it there. So anyway, I started talking to the woman and I said, do you ever get people come in asking about psoriasis? And she said, oh yeah, we do. She said, actually, she said, I read an article. There was an article in Common Ground, and I said, oh yeah, that was my article.
Well,
Oh, she goes, oh, are you the person? I said, yeah, I'm the person that wrote it. She said, oh, well, she said, we had this woman come in, and she said, no, I didn't read the article. I read the article, she said, but I didn't go to your website, so I told her about the D3 and K2, but she didn't tell her, she didn't know how much.
yeah, okay.
And I thought, well, the woman could have read the article and gone to the website, but she didn't. So she came in a month later complaining that it didn't work, and I said, well, if she didn't read and
Right,
find out how much to use and stuff, I mean,
right.
what can I say? So anyway, but while I was there, I said to her, do you have a good bioavailable turmeric? Because I don't know, do you have psoriatic arthritis by any chance?
Yes. Not, well, I've been on different things for it, but
Have you ever tried the turmeric?
I bought it, but which I just changed doctors because I asked my doctor and she said, well, I really don't know about that stuff. So I was afraid to take it because I've had 2 mini strokes and different things, and I don't want to complicate all that, which is why I'm going to this person Friday, and hopefully they can
Well,
guide
why
me.
don't you ask them, are they a naturopath or anything like that?
Yes,
Or just,
yes,
okay,
they're actually connected with an actual GP so that I can get it on my insurance.
perfect,
So,
perfect. Would you ask them about bioavailable turmeric just to see if you can do it? Because um, Finlandia has a good policy where if you spend a certain amount of money, it's free shipping and all over North America.
okay.
So I think that's kind of good to know. And this is Finlandia. If you want to write this down, do you have a
I
pen handy? Finlandia is spelled Finlandia, and then pharmacy, all one word, finlandiapharmacy.com.
Okay.
And they have what's called a bioturmeric, MERIVA, like Meriva. And it comes in either 60 veg caps or 120 veg caps. Anyway, they have really good stuff, and I really had a nice talk with this woman. I thought she was just excellent. Now, and the other thing is what I did. I'm going to show you this because you're here. So, see this beautiful liquid?
Yes. What is
So this is my new anti-inflammatory health drink. So it's made with
Can you put vodka in it?
yes, you could at Christmas time. That could be your healthy Christmas drink. So it's made with so you just slice up fresh ginger.
Okay.
I don't know, I'd put about a piece about yay big, like quite a lot of ginger.
You
And
slice
then
it or grate it?
yeah, no, I slice it. You could grate it, but I slice it really, really thin.
Okay.
Grating it would work too, probably better actually. And then I slice really thin a lemon or two,
Mhm.
and then I grate fresh turmeric, real turmeric, the root. Now, if you can't get that, then you can just use the powder if you like. But I actually use a little bit of the powder and the fresh turmeric. Do not drop it on your floors. If your floors are white, it major stains.
The turmeric.
Don't get it on don't get it on your clothes. It really stains. It's bright yellow. It's a saffron, beautiful color, but it stains. So be very careful.
How much of that do you use?
I just used a little, it's quite small. It's like it looks like ginger root, but it's tinier. It's skinnier,
Okay.
And so you just use a little, an inch and a half or an inch of it and grate that in. And then I pour in, I put in a little bit of regular turmeric powder. And then I just put in honey. And sometimes I throw in a little extra Manuka honey, which is very nice, very, very good stuff. And I think that's all. That's it. That's it. And it's like it's an anti-inflammatory, very healthy. You could drink it if you were had a cold or whatever. So it's a nice little pick me up, and it actually tastes quite nice.
I'll try it. I love red wine, but that has so much sugar in it. I think I have to give that up somewhat.
Oh, well, you could just have a little bit, you know. I mean, you don't have to be too horrible to yourself.
That's true.
Right.
I
So
will give up all the sugar.
yeah, and you're my test person today. What am I doing? What else did I do? Oh, this is another thing. I kind of ran into because we live on the West Coast and it's a rainforest. We're the only part of Canada that generally doesn't have snow, although we did get snow this week. We generally just have rain. And when I talk about rain, this year, listen to this, the month of October and November, we had 2.5 days each month without rain. Like
Oh my
it
gosh,
has.
I could not live there.
Oh, I just about lost it. I mean, we've had 2 days of sunshine, and I mean, it's like I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. It was really, it tested everybody. We haven't had this. It was record setting, let's say. So I became depressed. I was getting depressed, and so I had to, I had to kind of dig out all my stuff about depression. So I'm really into essential oils. Do you ever use essential oils?
No, because anything I'm afraid will just irritate me. So.
Oh, well, essential oils shouldn't, because essential oils are made from, they're the heart of the flower or the herb or whatever. They're totally natural. Not to be confused with fragrance oils. Fragrance oils have artificial stuff in it. You have to get the real essential oils. And I've been working with essential oils for 15, 20 years. So I have quite a box full of oils. So I made this is my anti-depression mix. And all I do is I have it in a roller, it's a roller thing, and I just put it on my wrist. And I can breathe it, and it's just, and I'm not kidding you, it uplifted me, and it had, what I did was I went online. I love the internet, I love Google. I love Google.
I do too.
Oh, isn't it just wonderful? So what I did was I researched a whole bunch of sites on essential oils for depression. And then what I did was I picked the ones that, because I usually work kind of intuitively when it comes to essential oils, and I used the ones that I heard the most often people would talk about, and then a few that I just happen to personally like. So I used bergamot. Bergamot is that's the smell that you get when you buy Earl Grey tea. It has that lovely. It's actually a citrus, but it's a perfumey citrus. You ever drink Earl Grey tea? Okay. So
my
that's
daughter gets a lot of different teas. So I like lavender. Maybe I'll try lavender.
Lavender is really good. That's the one I use the most of. Lavender is really good for depression. So I use bergamot, lavender, Roman chamomile. I don't expect people to know that to have all these, but ylang ylang, which is another quite a sweet one. A little bit of frankincense. Clary sage, just a drop of rose. Rose is very good for depression. It's supposed to be uplifting. And the last one was blood orange. There's this company called Essence, and they carry this one. And I've never liked orange. I like lemon and I like grapefruit, but I don't like the smell of orange particularly. And she said, oh, we've got this new blood orange. And I said, I don't like the smell of orange. I said, I don't use it at all. She said, oh, really? Just take a smell of this. I smelled it and I went, sold. It's really, really a beautiful scent.
And that's by Essence, you said?
Essence is the name of the company. So there's several companies that I deal with. I go to Voyager Soap and Candle. They're online. They have a lot of essential oils, and and they're not a storefront, so you're not paying. You're getting basically wholesale prices, or a little more than wholesale prices. So their prices are really good, and they have good oils. I go to Essence for some, mostly just the blood orange and a few other little things that I like. I used to go to Sage, but they don't really carry as many oils now as they used to. And sometimes, like Whole Foods or some other places, they have it. But it has to be an essential oil, 100% pure. You can't, when they say fragrance oil, don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah,
buy
we
it
have a
because
health food store right near me, 5 minutes away.
yeah. Well, you'll see they might have Oracacia, which is another company that's good. But just talk to the woman and say, I'm looking for, a certain sense. If I was making this and I was only going to buy 3 essential oils, I would do bergamot, lavender, mm, bergamot, lavender,
Rose, maybe?
maybe rose. Though the problem with rose is going to be highly diluted. It'll probably be a 10% or 5% solution, because it's very, very pricey as an essential oil. I have the 100%, but it's like little tiny bottle, and it's not even full. Like, it's like this much in there, and it's $50. Like, we're talking expensive.
I get it.
Yeah, but if you can get it. Are you still there?
I will.
I thought I
Yeah,
lost
I'm
you.
here. Oh, sorry.
I thought I lost you. So that's what I would do, and just play with it and look online. You might find sense, when you're there, and that you just smell them, and they really resonate with you. You just go, that really makes me feel good. I love that. That scent really works for me. And in which case, go for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll try. I'm going to look
I
into
mean, I
that.
don't know if you have depression. I've battled depression most of my life, and I haven't had it for a long time because I have the dog, and my skin getting better was just such a gift.
I
And
know, isn't it?
so, well, I mean, it was like a miracle, after, because in March, I'll be 70 in March, so it's going to,
What?
yeah,
You look great. You look great.
the big 7-0, March.
Yeah.
Seventh decade. So, but the dog has been really, good for me. Where's my dog? Where's Lucky? Lucky, Lucky, come here, Lucky.
I banned my
Yes,
dog
yes,
from the
yes.
room. I'm like, you're not coming in here.
Oh, Lucky rules the house. She
Yeah,
can
I saw
do
Lucky on one
anything.
of the, because I watched a couple of those. I saw Lucky in the background one time.
Well, she, what she does is when I'm on talking when I'm on the computer, she shuns me. She goes around into my little clothing room. I have a little room off here, and she has a bed in there, and she goes in there because she doesn't like me being on the computer.
He feels rejected.
She's a brat. Oh, she's a brat.
Well, I guess my biggest question too is, has anyone else gone off the program and then gone back on it that you know of that has?
Yeah, I've heard of people that, Charlie was really good at testing that, he was always kind of trying stuff out and stopping it for a while, or running out of something and not getting it for a while, and sort of, so he found that, he could, but he never, I mean, I don't know, how long did you stop for?
See, I wish I had that all my
I mean,
information from this, but
ballpark. This ballpark.
I can't even tell you because my mother, like I said, I was taking care of her. I was lucky I could even do the protocol.
Right. Okay. So, but
I
it's
think
been
I started in like in the fall or something, and then by March, I know that was like a year ago.
yeah.
I haven't even been able to give it I've been going crazy trying to find information around my house. Like I know I wrote it down somewhere. Because
Yeah.
for the life of me, I cannot remember the timeline on all of it.
Yeah.
But I know it did take 3 months to go through the process before I actually, I was one of those that wrote in about the results. I remember I got red, and then I got spots that I thought, where are these coming from? And I thought,
Right.
I'm getting worse. And then all of a sudden, at that 3 month point, it was like, bam, all of a
It kicked
sudden,
in for you.
oh, yeah.
That's really interesting because that's something I'm glad about this little bit of information because, see, everybody has a different experience. So my experience, just because of the way, just out of sheer luck or chance or whatever, because I had such a terrible breakout, a flare-up before I I even found out about the first part, the K2D3. I had stopped the dairy I think about 2 months before I started doing the K2D3. I'd already stopped dairy. I stopped dairy and gluten and sugar and alcohol and everything because I was just terrified because my body was just, I was just a complete mess. The only place I didn't have psoriasis was on my face. Thank God. But I couldn't even go out in the sun. I was a complete mess. So when I started taking the K2D3, and at that point I didn't know about the magnesium chloride. I hadn't met Charlie or had listened to the pain. So
yeah,
I started
first.
Oh, you started on the magnesium first.
Yes, I was doing that first.
Right. So different people have come out of now we've got it kind of set up as a protocol. But before that, we were we all kind of came from different directions. So I was the one that kind of figured out the dairy part, and Flintchick, who's going to be, who's Bethany, she's going to be joining with me. She's kind of one of the originators of this, myself and her and Charlie, and so when I started doing the K2D3, I went from 80 or 90% of my body affected to nothing in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, I was clear, and that was shocking to me, just watching my skin clear up that fast.
Mm-hmm.
But see, not everybody had that experience, so it's really good to know. So you kind of went along and it got red and the spots came up, and then at 3 months it kicked in.
I tell you, you know what I thought? I thought I'm getting weird because I would spray that magnesium on and it would burn, and I'd say, this is a good burn, it's good, and because I knew when I washed it off, I wouldn't even worry about the scratch because it would feel so good not to be burning. So I would just spray like 3 times a day. I would spray it, and I'd say, okay, 5 minutes of screaming and screaming, but I know an hour from now I'm going to feel so good.
Okay, so when you sprayed it on, were you spraying it all over your body?
Yes, 50-50. I would try, well, at first I would just kind of like do this and that, and then I said, just get in the shower, take the bottle, and I sprayed everywhere. 50-50.
Okay, 3 times a day.
Most days when I were home.
Okay, that's really good to know because I've been a little lax on my magnesium, and I think I'm going to start using it a bit more because it seemed to me when I was using it more often in the summertime, because I was using it for mosquitoes this summer. Because normally what I have to do is I can't have one mosquito in my bedroom. I literally go nuts. So I had built netting all around my bed, and in the summertime it was all clipped, like a mosquito could not get near me, And this last summer I didn't I had it kind of rolled up and I hadn't pulled it down, and I started spraying. I started taking the magnesium and I would put it in my hair and on my face, and so I was putting it on my upper body, whatever was outside of the sheets. And I noticed that I would hear these mosquitoes coming towards me, and they would get about here, and then they'd go, and they would leave. And so I thought, well, that's great, because I don't have to have, because it's a bit of a pain because the dog sleeps on top of the bed, and I have to get the dog in there and I have to get myself in there kind of sneaking in so that there's no mosquitoes come in with us. And I didn't have to do that. I just used the magnesium chloride, but I was using it on quite a lot of my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that my skin was better. And then now haven't been doing it as much, and I'm going, well, it's not like it's bad. I mean, if you look at my elbows, I mean, this is hardly what you would call a terrible case of psoriasis.
Wow.
A couple of little spots, a little bit red, because, well, it's a little bit red because I was scratching it earlier, which is, stupid. But, I do it. I kind of miss, I mean, this sounds really weird. I kind of miss scratching because I remember that I used to do this all up and down my legs. I would be just tearing at my skin, and it would be like, oh, it would feel so good, to scratch. And now it's like, I don't need to scratch. Isn't that nice?
I can't wait again for that.
Yeah, it is a nice feeling, and every once in a while I do get a little, I get a little itchy spot, but
Mm-hmm.
it's livable. But like I say, I've been the one person that has absolutely stayed on this protocol. Like I haven't backed down at all, and I'm always making sure that I've always got the stuff that I need. I did stop taking natto. I kind of upped more the pills and haven't been eating the natto as much, and I think I'm going to go back to eating the natto as much as I hate the taste of the damn stuff. That's
I'm
horrible.
going to try it. I haven't tried it yet, but I think I'll try it.
Can you buy it?
Yeah, I'm sure they have it at the store that's near me. So, but I like the way you showed how you took all the additives out and just mixed the things that you wanted. The spring onion.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I took the little packages of
Right.
that are full of MSG, I'm sure, and I threw them out and I mixed my own stuff, but it's still pretty horrible. But some people don't mind the taste of it. It's the taste plus the texture, where
Right.
like these long strings.
So you're not doing the MK7 anymore?
Oh yeah, I'm doing the MK7. I'm doing the Life Extension Super K, the
Okay.
capsules. Yeah, but I kind of gave myself a break from natto because I just about hit a point where I was like, I can't gag this stuff down one more time. So I gave myself a month or two off, and I think, just because of watching that woman, that doctor that had the MS, and she's really inspiring in terms of autoimmune disease because she really understood autoimmune disease, but she had MS, and she was in a wheelchair by the time she started taking supplementation. She started looking at mitochondria or whatever it's called, and she started using all these supplements, and she found that it slowed down the process of the MS but didn't stop it. And then she started finding food sources of the supplements that she was taking. And she found that once she started using the food sources, not only did it stop, it started reversing. And so she went from, she was on a reclining wheelchair. She went from that to a sit-up wheelchair. She went from that to 2 canes. She went to 1 cane. Then she was like riding her bike. Then she was doing a 30-mile bike ride. And now she's on the speaker circuit. I mean, she walks. The last time I saw her, I don't know if she's gotten rid of this. She had just a little bit of a hitch in her walk, but no canes. I mean, it's amazing. It's very inspiring, and I wish I should get her name. I don't know why I always forget, but I'm sure if you Googled doctor with MS who healed it with food, I'm sure it would come up. It's very inspiring, and MS is another autoimmune disease, which supposedly psoriasis is, and lupus, and there was one guy only. I mean, they kept talking about how, people that had psoriasis were going to be on there, and there was nobody with psoriasis. And then finally, on about the 8th last part of the series, there was a guy who had psoriasis and had changed their diet. And I know that this guy that has the Facebook page, the Psoriasis Warrior, he's very inspiring too. And
Oh, I just heard about that today or yesterday, because I still do go and read on the Inspire. And this guy that says it's a parasite now, that psoriasis is a parasite. So it's kind of like what we were doing with the magnesium. Let me say.
Oh, we got somebody else just came on, so Deb, I'm gonna unmute you. So if you wanna, it'll take a second or so, but you'll be able to speak if you want to. There, you're on now. If you wanna join us, we have Deb Boyle on.
Okay.
As well. So
can anybody hear me?
Yeah. Deb, is that you?
I've lost you guys. I don't know if
we can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear?
I've lost you guys. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you wave at me if you can hear me?
I can hear you.
You do hear me. I can't hear you anymore.
Oh.
I don't know what happened.
Check your
Can you undo what you did?
I can, but if I mute you, you can't talk. I can't hear. Oh, I can. I'll mute you. Let's see what happens. Okay, now, can you hear me now? Deb, can you hear me? Oh, well, the thing is, I've muted you, so I can't see whether or not you can hear me. How can we do this? This is really weird. I don't know what we can do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you off mute again, and then you can answer. Oh, hold on. Okay. You answer me now. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Anyway. Oh, shoot. I've lost you guys. Are you there?
There. Oh,
okay.
This is Deb. I can.
Okay, Deb.
Yes.
The only problem is that I've lost. Michael, are you there? Michael?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, somehow I've lost my page. I can't. I don't see myself and I don't see anything else. So I've lost. I mean, I'm still on. I can still hear.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, here it is. Hold on. There. Well,
you're still on. You got 15 minutes left. It's okay.
All right. Well, but I can't unmute or mute anybody. So, Deb, are you here?
I am here. I can hear you now.
And the other person?
Yes, Susan.
Okay, so we're on Susan, because I don't have any names now. The names vanished, so we'll just carry on. Oh, computers. So what were we talking about? Susan, we were talking about something and we kind of got all...
Well, I was getting ready to tell you about someone...
Oh, parasites.
Claims that their psoriasis is a parasitic disease.
And what is he saying that we should do to get rid of the parasites?
But like you were saying, what were you talking about? There was some point I was bringing that up about but I forgot. So anyhow.
Oh, because I was saying that the guy that does the psoriasis warrior, is encouraging, and that's a diet thing. It's very much about the paleo diet or paleo diet, however you pronounce it. Anyway, it makes sense that diet is going to affect it, and certainly, we know for a fact that dairy is deadly. That one you can't.
Yeah, I did stop the big dairy, had to have ice cream all the time, and I feel so much better since when I don't do that. But I do feel I've tried the different non-dairy creamers, but it just doesn't do it for me for my coffee. But and a little bit of butter here, but I try to make sure it's grass-fed and stuff like that. But
I never stopped butter. I do the grass-fed butter, and I'm just I stay with butter.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? you're in the States. Do you have a company called Trader Joe's?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I know that ice cream that you talk about. The chocolate.
Look. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of that type of stuff around here.
Okay, well, look at
I trade
Trader.
that now. Yeah.
Okay, look at Trader Joe's has a soya creamer.
Oh, soya cream.
They have a soy creamer that is absolutely excellent. I mean, you can put that on strawberries and it just tastes fantastic. And that's what, I mean, I actually cross the border and buy 5 or 6 of them, and they're a pint each.
Is
And
it like creamy or is it like watery? Because the other ones I've
no,
tried.
it's really creamy. It's great.
I'll
You'll
try
love
it.
it.
I'm
You
writing
will love it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a soya creamer.
Okay.
If you hold on for
soy
2
or
seconds,
soya?
hold on for 2 seconds. I'm going to go to my fridge and I'll show you it. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
Hold on. Okay, because it's always easier if you've got the visual. There's the visual.
Okay.
All right?
Trader Joe's soy creamer. All right.
Yeah. And it is absolutely delicious. It really is. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I put it on strawberries in the summertime, and I loved it. And you know another thing that's really good? But you have to kind of like do you like the taste of coconut?
Oh, love it. Yeah.
Okay. You know those little cans? They're little. They're about yay big around at the top, and they're about so big, and they're like they're a coconut milk.
Mm-hmm.
Don't buy the organic. The organic won't work. You take those little cans of coconut milk and you put them in the fridge. They've got to be refrigerated for about 48 hours, and then you scoop off it's like a thick, creamy, waxy, creamy part. Take that. There's a liquid. You pour the liquid off, and you take that cream part, and you beat it, and you can throw in a little bit of vanilla and a little bit of sugar in it. It's just like whipped cream.
Oh my gosh.
So if you want to have a hot chocolate. So you I make it with almond milk, and then I add a little bit of the dairy creamer, and then I put this stuff on top. I beat it up and put it on top, so it's like whipped cream. It's fantastic. Because I'm really trying to come up with good recipes that I can, I don't want to be suffering because I can't have dairy. I'm trying to find substitutes that are not just palatable. I want to make some delicious things. So that because it's hard for me to let go of dairy. I loved my dairy.
Me too.
Ice cream and yogurt, and I can't have it anymore. So I find these. So this one is the best substitute I found.
Right, I'll go there tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing that's good about it is it doesn't have as much sugar. Some of those dairy substitutes that are made with soy, not Trader Joe's but other companies, they're chock full of sugar. They're so sweet, they're just sickening.
Yeah, I always forget to check for the sugar content on this.
Yeah, you got to do that because you know why?
I think that's my biggest problem, sugar, and I react to sugar.
Yeah. Well, they do have sugar. They have cane sugar, but it's not up in the first 3 or 4 things. It's about the 5th, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to. It's not bad. Trader Joe's is pretty good actually for the stuff that they put in. It's.
The other problem I have, and this is funny. Well, it's not funny, but I have history of diverticulitis.
What is that? I know I've heard it before. What is it?
That's the digestive tract when you get polyps and inflammation.
Oh.
And
inflammation again.
Excuse me?
Inflammation again.
Right. So anyhow, when I have to be very careful. I have to chew up everything I eat so it doesn't get stuck these, or I end up in the emergency.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
I've been taking
wow.
my capsules. I was taking fish oil capsules, and it seemed like, a couple years back, and I swear that they were not dissolving, and that's what was causing it. So anyhow, with my K2, I actually open them up and I sprinkle it on a teaspoon of coconut, the
Coconut or coconut oil.
oil, and I just,
Ah,
like that.
that's smart. That's smart. As a matter of fact, you know what? I used to do that. No, I remember I was doing that with my D3. Not with my D3, with my omega-3, the fish oil. I would bite it. It was pretty
Yeah.
fish oil, But because it seemed to me like the container itself was pretty darn thick.
Right. Yeah.
So you know what? Maybe I'm going to start doing that again. I'm going to start doing that again. I'm glad you said that because I think that's important.
Now, why were you doing that? Why were you biting it open?
Well, because it just seemed to me, I did it because it just seemed to me that the container, because what I did was I was giving a little tiny bit to my dog for the dog food. And I went to cut it and I thought, God, this is really thick.
Right.
Like I'm sure by the time like maybe I'm just eating this and pooping it out. Well, obviously it would have shown up, but so I thought, well, maybe if I just bit it and sucked the oil out of it, it would be better. And besides, when you're taking so many capsules, which I am, because I'm taking all these supplements, maybe it would be a smart idea not to take so many capsules and get rid of, dump some of them down the garbage and not eat them.
Right. Well, I actually tried. I took several of them and put them in a small dish, and I put I think apple cider vinegar in it, a little bit of water, left it there overnight to see which ones would dissolve, and not many of them dissolved. I was trying to make it as close to my stomach acid, to see if it would break
down. Should have put Coca-Cola. That would have done it. So, by the way, I wanted to ask Deb, did you have any questions or anything while we're here, because we're coming to the end?
I actually do sort of have a question.
Do you mind, Susan, if we just move on with Deb for just a few minutes?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, Deb, let's hear it.
So I wondered, I don't know how many, I got here so late, I don't know how many people might be listening in, but I wondered, I have a friend who has a friend who has a vitamin, like a health food store kind of a thing. Not a health food store, but really a supplement store.
Yep.
And this person was telling that person about how much vitamin K I was taking. And they got very concerned about how much vitamin K that was because of
vitamin K or vitamin
stuff.
3?
The vitamin K. I'm taking the D and K. And when she heard how much of the K, because I actually have stopped doing the full dose just because I sort of thought it was too much myself. I still haven't gotten quite the results that, I'm the one who had the shot and had the rebound thing. And
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been doing that big dose of K and D now for, I don't know, since this early spring, which is a lot of vitamin K for all that time. But anyway, I just wondered.
Well, when you say a lot of vitamin K, how much are you talking about?
Well, I'd have to see if I could find that bottle right now, but it's the what you say on your protocol, the Super K.
Life Extension Super K. Okay, so that would have that has 200 micrograms.
Yeah.
How many of them are you taking a day?
2. And she seemed to think that was a ton. And I don't.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
No? Okay. I mean, I know we're not doctors here, and this is not professional.
No, we're not. That is not professional advice. Not professional advice. Not advising you. However.
That's right. Let's say that.
However, you just said that now. We're real clear about that. Now, if you get a package of natto.
Yeah.
Natto has 400 micrograms of K2MK7. 400, which is the same. All right? And Japanese have been eating that since, I think, the First World War.
Well, we did sort of talk about that and the difference between really getting your vitamins from your food with the fiber and all
that earlier. We were
Yeah.
talking about that earlier, and I
Oh,
think
you
it is.
were?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
So I'm going back. I've just started back doing. I stopped the natto for a while because it just made me gag, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna just start eating it again, and not use the supplements as much. But the supplements are still they're coming from. I mean, that
Yeah.
vitamin K2 MK7 is coming from natto. It's the same
Yeah.
stuff. It's the
I know,
same
it's
stuff.
just right, except they're isolating. They're isolating
Yeah,
it, and
yeah.
So I just wondered if anyone who might be listening in would know anything
Well,
about,
I'll tell you. Here's what happens on this webinar. We have 39 people signed up
Uh-huh.
today. There's 2 of you on right now.
Oh,
Because what happens is a lot of people don't listen to it now. They
right.
listen to it at another time.
Right.
Okay? So thank God, 1 or 2 people do show up, because otherwise I'd be talking to myself, which is not a whole lot of fun. Well, so that's.
Well, since I wasn't on here earlier, are you going to still do this in January? This isn't the end. This is just the end for this year.
I'm glad. Yeah, it's the end. This is the last one for 2016. But and I'm glad you asked that question, because I was just thinking, I got to remember to say this. I will probably be doing another webinar around the 3rd week of January, because I'm going to be going away in February for 3 weeks, but I'm going to be doing it about the 3rd week of January. It'll probably be on a Wednesday night. I only had 2 people respond to the question, and they both said Wednesday was better, and so I'm going to try Wednesday nights, and that's what I'm doing. And by the way, if you're wondering, what this is my Christmas attire.
I like it. I like it. Did you make it?
Well, no, I didn't actually. It's a thing that I bought it at the hardware store because I just loved it, and the battery pack is in my bra.
I can't see clearly enough on my screen. I can't see it clearly enough to tell what it really is. I mean, I see its lights, but I can't. Are they bulbs?
They're not. It's the cutest little thing.
Yeah.
It's wires, and then they're just these little kind of little bulbs. They're not like light bulbs. They're really. It's the sweetest. I love it. I've got 2 of these, 2 purple ones, and then I got a white one that I wound around around a candle inside a glass container, and it's really pretty. So I just like them. But this one is a battery pack. The other one, the one in the white one is a plug-in. So the battery pack, and it's just fun. They're just fun, and I thought, oh well, I should do this for Christmas. This is my Christmas look.
I'm surprised that wasn't the first thing covered in the webinar tonight, because I immediately looked at when I got on here. Look at that necklace. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great necklace. Yeah. So we're at 6:59 right now. So did you get your question answered?
Well, I'm hoping that of the 39 other people who've signed up, when they watch this later, if maybe somebody will write in or
and why don't you, if you write in on the Facebook page, people will answer there too. So go to the Facebook page. Have you been there at all, or are you on Facebook?
I am not a Facebook girl.
Oh, okay. We just happen to have a Facebook page because we just do.
Can I ask that question?
Yeah.
Is she still doing the magnesium?
Yes, doing all of it, and I would say there's very minor. I don't know if you've followed my story from before, if you know, but I got pretty good, really pretty clear, except for one spot, my calf, and then I took all that stuff. I got really good. I ended up getting a shot of cortisone and got a really terrible rebound, and then started working on it again. It's never come back full force, but it's a lot more than it was.
Yeah, than it was.
So,
yeah,
but I'm doing all the things still.
Yeah, and Susan said that she went for a long time, and then at 3 months it kicked in.
Okay.
So everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Okay. Well, I'm going to listen to this. Yeah, I'll listen to this whole.
So anyway, yeah, listen to this, and always you can write onto the website too, and I can always ask that question. You know, just give me the question so I know exactly what question to ask.
Well, I don't know exactly. I just wondered about the amount of vitamin K. If that, vitamin K helps you clot your blood, and it seems like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
How long can you take that much? I don't know. Just wondered if anybody had any insight, or maybe had read a paper.
All I know is I've been doing it for longer than anybody else.
Yeah, and I could look at Mercola is probably a good. I just haven't done it yet.
Mercola. If you know Mercola, go to him. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, girls. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And next 2017, let's go for absolutely clear skin, and we'll just be happy girls.
No dairy.
And all the rest, and no dairy. And I know it's Christmas time, and you're going to sneak a little, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dakota.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.